What is up, guys, gals, and non-binary pals? I'm here on take 2 of our live stream because I was having some issues with the other version. I apologize for that. Let me take this border off so we don't need that. There we go. Welcome, those who are going to be streaming on in. Welcome, Sujin. Hello. Hi. Okay, that works better. And then this other one, I will just go ahead and make it there. Should be good now. There we go. Now we're back live. I will make this other. I'm just going to change the name later, but this should be better. My voice is more clear. Perfect. That was what I was hoping for. So anyways, what was I saying? Oh, aside from OBS giving me issues, yeah, so I searched far and wide for questions that people normally Google when they're looking up diamond painting stuff. And I grabbed a bunch of them. I thought it would be a little bit fun for us to mess around with those, see what questions that we can answer, and have a little bit of fun with it. So I have them here. We will play around with that. I'm glad that it's clearer. Perfect. Then we're just going to not mess with OBS anymore. And I think that before my 24-hour live, I may just have to pay for like a subscription of StreamYard so that it doesn't count those hours in the month of May against me. But we shall see. All right, perfect. Let me go ahead and share some of these questions with you. The ones that I found on Google, and then we'll play a little game. So, beginner, like this is the highest search volume questions from beginners usually, or they at least kind of give the indication that they're coming from a beginner. What is diamond painting? Well, that could take a hot minute to explain all of what diamond painting is, but basically the premise of diamond painting is that you have a piece of artwork pixelated, and it is then, once it is pixelated, put together like a color by number with a specific symbol and a specific color code that goes along with that symbol to correspond with it. And then you have these tiny diamonds, or drills, as we call them, and you put those down onto a sticky surface with that particular color-coded grid on it. And then when you're finished with it, it becomes a piece of artwork, a pixelated piece of artwork, but a piece of artwork nonetheless. You can buy them from all different kinds of companies, licensed or unlicensed, in the US and beyond. But that's the basic premise of what diamond painting is. I like to tell people it's like cross stitch and color by number had a love child, and then throw some glue in there. It's stamped cross stitch with drills instead of thread. That works too. Diamond painting is what addicts do between meetings. Josh, legitimately, I used to sit and diamond paint at meetings, at my AA and NA meeting. So you're not wrong. Between or during, whichever. Good evening, Mary. Okay, so second question, search topic. Is diamond painting hard? Is diamond painting hard? I think that's a relative question. Like, I think that if you had no hands or you were missing fingers, diamond painting would be extremely hard. I think that if you had very low hand-eye coordination or fine motor skills, diamond painting would be incredibly hard. I think that if you had serious vision issues, diamond painting would be massively hard for a person with those issues in particular. But for, I guess, your everyday person, as far as that is concerned, no, diamond painting is not difficult. It's maybe difficult in the sense that it's very time consuming, or that it does take some amount of attention to do. But in the scheme of things, you're picking up small drills and you're sticking them to a gluey surface. That's not really difficult. Unless, like I said, you have those particular issues that you're dealing with. It's like breathing. As long as you don't think about it, it comes naturally. That is also true. DP is easy to learn, but takes time to master. Very good answer. It depends on how well you handle activities that require sitting for periods of time with one activity. Also a good point. It isn't for everybody. I would not recommend diamond painting, obviously, to people with certain like disabilities, or like I said, poor hand-eye coordination, poor vision, people who have severe attention issues. I wouldn't recommend large diamond paintings, especially to those people. But I think that generally it's very easy to do if you are into these sorts of fine motor skill sorts of projects, then yes, it's pretty easy. And like you're saying, easy to learn but takes time to master. I think that is the perfect way to describe it, Josh. I wonder if it would be a good form of physical therapy for something. Oh, I bet it probably could be very easily for fine motor skill development. Sure. Okay, next question. How long does a diamond painting take? How long does a diamond painting take? That's a tricky one too, because it just depends. Paula says, I have Parkinson's and can still do some fine motor things, so I enjoy it. There you go. How long does it take is a relative question, right? I am a very fast diamond painter, but a lot of that has to do with the tools, right? Like I use a multi-placer to place multiple diamonds at one time. When I was single placing, a piece obviously was taking me much longer. So depending on the tools that you're using, depending on, you know, what speed you're going at, and it's not a race. And then what size the diamond painting that you're working on is, because if you're doing like little minis, or you're doing smaller, snack size kind of pieces, then no, it's probably not going to take you as long to get done. But something this size, if you are single placing, also could take a while, or depending on what you got going for your real life, like do you work a full-time job, whatever. But all in all, it does, depending on the size of the project, yes, it does take a long time. As long as it needs to, that 15 to 120 hours. Shit, it could be 15 to 1,000 hours. You know what I mean? There's a lot that goes into how long something takes, for sure. Well, this one just says diamond painting for beginners. Okay. So since that's not a question, that's a statement. I will say for beginners, my recommendations always for beginners are to start kind of small and work your way up. Rounds, I feel like, are definitely easier for a beginner than a square is, especially depending on the grid. I wouldn't recommend a brand new person maybe pick up a Diamond Art Club square until they've gotten maybe another square under their belt, though people jump right in sometimes and have success with that. I was not one of them. But I like to think that diamond painting for beginners, working on smaller canvases, working on a round, definitely recommended. Mini dazzles are perfect for beginner squares. Yes, like I did paint gems, but that was before mini dazzles was a thing. They didn't have mini dazzles when I started out doing squares. So same difference though. Same idea. Working with a much smaller square before deciding to pick up a larger square. Mini Dazzles, Paint Gems. I mean, now we have Diamond Design Company, Diamond Delights. There's Forever Young. There's Pretty Little Gem. There are so many minis companies out there now that you can get from, that I think you got your pick of squares in smaller size. You can really kind of sky's the limit that. I'm tempted to try a vacuum pen. I feel like I spend a lot of time fixing my putty when it oozes out. At PDX Mom, I will be reviewing a vacuum pen, and this one is a cordless. Where did I put it? Where did I put it? I gotta do an unboxing. But I'm going to be using a Art Dot wireless and tubeless one. Hold, please. Let me see if I can figure out where I stuck it. Well, where did I put it? Where is it? Nope, that's not it. That's not it. Are you over here? No. I put it somewhere for later and then promptly lost it. I will be doing a review of the wireless one from Art Dot. I do have a review for a Picmondo that is the one with the tubes in it and stuff like that. Seriously, I don't know what I did with it. Not important right now. But if you want to keep an eye on the channel, I'll have that out pretty soon. I think that honestly, if you're a person who does not do well with putty or wax, it is a very good option, especially when you're dealing with the ABs or Aurora Borealis, the ones that have the coating on top. One of the vacuum pens is very likely a great option. Didn't like the Art Dot pen, but do like the one I got off Amazon that has multi-placing tips as well as single. Oh, tube doesn't bother me. Beth, I agree. Like those tubes, as long as you kind of get used to where to place it, like to have it behind your wrist or in front of you, wrapped around your arm a million times, whatever, they can be very, very handy. Is it the one where you can't replace the tip? That I'm not sure. I didn't open it yet. I did not open it. Okay, next beginner question that was a high search volume. What do I need to start diamond painting? Well, 2 good hands is a good start. 2 good eyes, I mean, at least relatively speaking, or, altered eyes so that you can see more clearly. Glasses, contact, are a good start. Beyond that, you need the kit, whatever kit you want to work on. You can get kits from all over the place. Lots and lots of them. You can watch my channel if you want to find some things, or I have a new to diamond painting, here's how to pick the best kit for you video. Highly recommend checking that out, because I talk about cost effectiveness. I talk about quality. I talk about size. I talk about everything. So as far as what you need, 2 good hands, 2 relatively good eyes, or, eyes that you can wear glasses or contacts. And then patience. Oh my God, patience. You definitely need patience to be able to diamond paint in as much measure as you can get it. Yes, see Josh, scissors on a flat surface. There you go. Light pad, highly recommended, but not required. And then Calf brings up a good point. As far as the other stuff, besides just a kit, right? I have another video where I have hacks, and then I have tools that I can't live without. And light pads come into that. I mean, fabric softener sheets come into that. There's all kinds of extras that you can add to just getting the kit that make it easier for you, but they're by no means necessary or required. I have an odd nerve disease and my vision can be better than 20/20 when I first start out. And then I have varying strengths of readers that I switch out as I need to. That's handy, Mary. Um, Ooh, another high search volume. Is diamond painting good for anxiety or stress? Yes, for me. For me personally, yes, I absolutely need diamond painting for stress relief. I don't know where I would be right now if it were not for diamond painting. So, highly recommend. Um, for me personally, I am a dual diagnosis issue, meaning I have a disability called substance use disorder. I'm a recovering addict. I've been in recovery for 6.5 years, and I used diamond painting as a means of helping me through my addiction recovery. Also, I have other issues as far as mental health goes. I am an autistic person. I have autism spectrum disorder, and as well as issues with like PTSD or CPST, CPTSD. I can language. So as far as like anxiety and stress go, I absolutely I feel it when I don't get a chance to sit down and diamond paint for a couple of days. Um, it's noticeable how much more like on edge that I am and how just agitated I am or what have you. And so, yeah, highly, highly recommend it for anxiety and stress. Mystical paint diamond painter says 1,000% yes. So much. Yes, yes, yes. We have a lot of yes. Oh, hell yes. Are you going to do like updated beginner videos? Yes, Sujin, I am. I am planning to do some updated beginner videos because a lot has changed in a year. Thank you, PDX Mom. I appreciate it. You can get tax breaks on your DP stuff. Squeeze me? Oh, really? I should too. And you know why? Because technically this is a business expense. I saved even all of my like shipping receipts for when I ship stuff out. Saved all of those from last year too. Yeah, all my postage. Sure did. Sure did. Um, the next one is diamond painting versus paint by numbers. Again, not a question. Uh, so diamond painting versus paint by numbers. There's that like funny DAC commercial that always comes up on YouTube for me. I don't know about for you guys, but like legitimately, I get Diamond Art Club and Dreamer Designs and Art Dot ads instead of like any other ads, basically. And so there's one that says like cross stitch whatever. Cross stitch left me frustrated and paint by number ruined my favorite desk. And I was like, what are you messy? Like, you don't clean? Why are you getting your paint all over your desk? Why is it ruining? Also, what kind of paint are you using? Like you just wash it. Acrylic paint washes right off. Um, I get that commercial all of the time. And as far as like paint by numbers goes, it is similar. The premise is similar in that it's got a guide, you know what you're laying and where. And that's kind of where the similarity stops. Like the tools are very different. The end result is very different. You don't need any particular artistic skill to do this, just patience and time for it being a business or for needing them for your autism. Oh, hey, I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think about that. But yeah, so there are a lot of differences, but this is my preferred method. Okay, next area, how to technique searches. How to start a diamond painting. How to start a diamond painting? Well, I mean, after you've done the kit up in whatever. Well, you know what? Actually, I have a how to diamond paint, like for absolute beginners, go watch that video if you want to know how to start a diamond painting. Yeah, she calls it mess free. Yeah, bull crap. Bull crap. That wouldn't even Oh yeah, I wouldn't even Van Gogh on the fridge. I freaking hate that commercial so much. Oh my gosh. And I see it constantly. The minute it comes up, I'm like, skip, 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 skip. Come on, let me hit the skip button. I'm like just patiently, impatiently waiting for the skip button. Skip, 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 skip. I know exactly what she says and when that I can hit the skip button with that commercial. Oh my gosh. Yep. 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 It wasn't even Van Gogh on the fridge. Like, stop. Um, so yeah, how to start a diamond painting. Go watch my video, but more or less after you've kit up, you just start going. You pick a color, you put it into your tray, you find the corresponding color on the diamond painting. In fact, I usually look for a color first, pick it out of the tray or pick it out of the storage, put it in the tray, and then stick that color on first, whatever one is easiest to find. But go watch my how to diamond paint for beginners. Oh, here's another one. How to keep diamonds from popping. How to keep diamonds from popping. Now, I feel like oftentimes, like popping drills are like issues with glue, or they're issues with the canvas, like the canvas being too tight, or your placement on that canvas is too close together. Um, Sometimes people will put things so tight together that yeah, their drills are popping. Um, and again, if you've got glue issues and your drills are just popping off, that's because you got glue issues. That's nothing to do with like anything that you did wrong. But fixing popping drills is more or less making sure that you know what the problem is. Is it a glue problem? Is it a grid problem? Or is it a U problem? Narrow that down and then you can fix it from there. So, like, if it's a problem with the glue, is it not sticky? If it is not sticky, then you can use my alcohol spray trick to spray down the glue. You spread out the alcohol and then you let it dry, like evaporate off, and you test it, like see how sticky it is as you're going along. And if it's still, nothing sticking to it, then it's probably not dry enough yet. The alcohol hasn't dried enough. If it's like not a glue issue, if it's a matter of, your placement, you just got to learn to place things so that they're not too close together. Try single placing maybe a little while. Checkerboarding is a method that a lot of people recommend because then you're making sure that you're getting directly on. So making sure that you're right either in the square of if it's got a grid lines, or if it's got guide circles, making sure that you like boom right on the guide circle. If it's a placement issue, uh, and or grid issue. But if the grid is just super, 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 super tight, um, I guess making sure that you've got the right drills because the size of squares and the size of rounds are not the same. I think rounds are 2.5 millimeter and the squares are 2.8 or vice versa. It was 2.8 in rounds, 2.5 in square. That's probably correct. Backwards. But okay. How to straighten drills. Okay. How to straighten drills. There's a couple of ways that you can straighten drills. Uh, just kind of depends on one, like how fast do you want to be able to do it? Do you want to be able to just like do it all in one fell swoop or do it a little bit at a time. I tend to straighten my drills as I go. I don't know about you guys. I keep a straightening tool handy. Uh, is that why the mini dazzles feel like a tighter grid? Could be. If it's all, yeah. And when they're specials, special drills also are tighter in a grid than regular drills are. I feel like I've just had good luck because I never really have popping drills. I usually don't either. Does a canvas get tighter the more square drills are added? It can, yes. It depends on if you've placed directly in the square. Like what I find happened with my first square I ever worked on, I wasn't placing them straight and I wasn't placing them on the row. And so as I was going along, I was legitimately losing a square as I went along. And so I needed to go back. I needed to push everything back to the far end of the canvas because with a square, hold on one second. Let me grab something and I'll show you. With a square canvas, you have this like outside line, okay? You have this line around the edge of the canvas, okay? This black line on the edge of the canvas so that you know it's the edge. If you're laying drills, the first row needs to almost be just on this side of that line. You want to give yourself just especially with a Diamond Art Club, you want to give yourself just a little bit of room. That's why they over pour the glue also. I'm not saying put it way out here. I'm saying just don't put it on the inside of that black line. Put it on the just on the other side of that black line. And then you'll be able to keep your rows very straight because you want to make sure those rows are as straight as humanly possible. I'm going to show it to you upside down, but if you see on this, see how you can't see the black line? Like, yes, in some places you can see the black line. Right there, you can kind of see the black line. But you see here, I've started on the other side of that black line, just barely. And it keeps your squares straight. If they're not on a Diamond Art Club, if they are not this tight and this straight, you're going to drop rows. And it's going to happen fast. That's why I recommend starting on a mini dazzle because they are smaller canvases to work on and you get more practice. Because something larger, you've got a larger area to screw up, you know? Hold on, I gotta hang this back up. So starting on a smaller canvas makes a huge difference. Didn't do that with the Morales. It was also so dang sick. Yeah. Maybe I'm chaotic, but I don't straighten mine at all. I feel like the squares straighten themselves out and the rounds, I just feel like I don't need to straighten them. Yeah, and sometimes if your placement is good to begin with, I didn't do a lot of straightening in here. But when I do need to straighten something, I have a small straightening tool. These right here tend to come with cheap kits. I've never found one in an expensive kit. I always find them in a cheap kit. And so it's just a tip, right? So like, if I can get it out of here now, there we go. It's just a tip that you can put into any pen. I happen to have it in my Flowa Designs pen. But if I need to, then I'll go through and I'll just kind of push the row or, you know, straighten it out if I notice. And you can go like up and down, you go left and right. It doesn't really matter. Got to watch for pop drills though, because you're moving them around on the glue and they might like fall off. But I don't need to do that too often because I lay them pretty straight, both with squares and rounds. However, there's another tool that you can use. This one, you can get these from Art Dot. These also, you can buy them in like tool kits or whatever. There was a time when DAT grids were very, very tight. It was a small window of time. Yeah. But this one in particular, you can actually put it in between two diamonds and you can run it straight up the row. There's also, and I don't use them, but they have these rulers that you can put down on the canvas and it allows you to place, like there was one that I saw recently where you, for a square kit, you do it in like diagonals or whatever. The thing I don't like about that is when you remove the ruler, you can only use a two placer at a time because you can either go two this way or two this way, right? Up, down, up, down, up, down. But then when you're done, you take the ruler off, and now all of a sudden you've got a whole other half of that square to do. I don't like those. Some people like those kinds of rulers where either it, you put it down and it'll show you every round guide circle or square. I don't think that it works for DAC because they're too tight. The grid's too tight, but I have no interest in using a tool like that. Some people find success with those tools. I do not. As far as like keeping the drills straight, I just either straighten as I go. Like if I find that I laid it down a little wonky, then I just fix it right then. Like I put it in where it's supposed to go immediately. I don't wait. So there's that. Okay. Next question. How to seal a diamond painting, and should you? Well, okay. So the question of should you seal a diamond painting, uh, or how to seal a diamond painting? I do know that if you seal a Diamond Art Club diamond painting, your warranty is void, which covers the drills and the canvas, like the area of the canvas with the design on it. That being said, for less expensive canvases, sometimes sealing is necessary to keep the drills on them because they have acrylic drills or the glue isn't great or whatever. For that, I recommend Minwax polycrylic. It's a liquid in like a can, and brush it on very lightly. It will make the canvas stiff, and you're not going to be moving those drills or removing those drills after you do that. That is a whole ass different problem. But yeah, I highly recommend, if you're going to seal a diamond painting, that you do so when you have plenty of ventilation. You're going to want to do it outside in like warmer weather if possible, or a well ventilated garage, that sort of thing. And then you're going to want to give it a full 24 hours to dry. Some people swear by Mod Podge or other brands. I like Minwax polycrylic because it dries crystal clear, and it doesn't take away, like it doesn't dull the shiny. I feel like I've noticed when people use Mod Podge or things like that, it leaves like a cloudy sort of look to the diamonds when they're done sealing it. But let's see. Hi, K and K love. I have a roller with grooves. There are those rollers also for straightening. I don't have one of those, but that's another good point, Paula. The 3D printer peeps are making rollers that have 6 or so tracks. Yeah, I'd like to try one, just to have, but I feel like the rollers are an unnecessary extra step. Yes. I might break it. You're not wrong. I break things. I only seal small things like coasters and keychains and such, but regular diamond paintings, same. I've never found it necessary to seal anything too large unless it was like diamonds were legitimately trying to jump off of them, especially acrylic. But coasters and bookmarks and things like that might get more heavy use, as like moving around and things like that. Highly recommend sealing those. And you can buy sealants from companies that aren't Minwax polycrylic, but I personally like the Minwax polycrylic. That's my recommendation for a brand, but make sure you wipe the DP area prior to sealing. Yeah, you can grow things under sealants. Ew, I agree. I agree. Yucky. Yucky, yucky, yucky. Okay, next highly searched question. Best way to organize diamond painting drills. So the best way to organize diamond painting drills, everybody kind of has their own favorite method for organizing. Now, I'm going to take this in two parts. One is while you are actively working on a diamond painting. And then two is when you have finished with your diamond painting, what do you do to store your drills after that point? Okay. That's two different questions. Now, I am kind of a open to any kind of storage person. I am not necessarily like, it has to be Elizabeth Ward, or it has to be Art Dot round bottles, or it has to be Art Dot Tic Tac bottles, or it has to be Craftmates or whatever. Like, I don't have any like brand or type that I'm necessarily married to. Okay. I will work with whatever works for the diamond painting that I'm working on. In fact, sometimes I even kit up into baggies. There are so many different methods of storage, which actually I'm going to write that down. I need to do a tutorial video on storage, for like storage options for wild diamond painting. If there's any particular subject that you think I should cover also for a tutorial video, please let me know. I'm happy to. I want to update the ones that I have, first of all, but I also want to do some new ones. So there's something that you think you want to see, or you think others might find useful that you didn't know before you started diamond painting, I am happy to add those to the list. But it's, yeah, Mystical Diamond Painter says it's personal preference for sure. For kitting up, I go by DMC order in the cylinder containers currently. Then my leftovers, I keep one full bag of each color in a trading card storage box. And you and I are not far different in that method. There's just so many different types of storage that you can do. There's many different types of ways that you can kit up as you're going. Some people go by DMC order. Some people go by like symbols. Some people go by color. They get them separated by color. There's no wrong way to do anything. It's whatever works the best with your brain and your method of diamond painting is the right way. If it works for you, then it's the correct way for you to do it. But there's so freaking many. And then as far as leftovers, like Mystical Diamond Painter, I also keep my leftovers in a large card storage box, like what you would get for baseball cards or Pokemon cards or whatever. I keep them in Ziploc bags. Hold on. I'll actually grab it. I'll show you what it looks like. Take me just a second to grab. I'll get it. Hold on. I'm in my closet. I'm in my closet. Here we go. Okay. So for leftover diamonds, I don't tend to save my acrylic diamonds. You want to see how you load Ghost in a single placer. Paula, I have a video for that. If you look down in the description, there is a link that says how to use Ghost. There's a video that I made. And I show you how to put it in a single placer and how to put it in a multi-placer. Still trying out drill storage methods. Depending on the color count, I've just kitted into trays, but I've used, and that's the other method, kitting up into a tray. Like people do that too. I've used round containers, Tic Tac containers, plastic baggies, collective card binders. Yeah. So with my leftover drills, the ones that are from the kits, I haven't been saving my acrylic drills. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It just really depends. Generally though, I don't save my acrylic drills. I will save my, my resin drills though. Those I feel very strongly about keeping. Specifically Diamond Art Club, but I do save my non-Diamond Art Club as well. Let me move her out of the way for a moment. Ooh. There we go. Okay, so with regard to my extras, this is what I do with my extra diamonds. These are all Diamond Art Club specifically. I have a separate box that I put my non-Diamond Art Club squares. This is just squares. This is just Diamond Art Club, and this is just square. I think a helpful topic would be destash sites. Oh, okay, destashing. Yes, that's a good idea. I actually thought about doing like how to responsibly and safely buy from destash. This is the same box you have. Okay. Hi, Peggy. But this is just, like I said, my squares from Diamond Art Club. And then what I have going on is I have every DMC number. I have the stickers that came from Art Dot. And then I put them into a baggie. And what I found with Diamond Art Club is that their die lots are spot on. I don't think I've had any, if maybe a handful of die lot discrepancy between Diamond Art Club drills. I don't even necessarily bother checking because I just dump them right in with the last ones and they have matched just fine. I mean, every single one. Now, granted, there are now going to be either flat top diamonds or the peaked drills because they've gone from flat top to peaked back to flat top again. So like these are flat top drills. And then I have peaked drills. These ones have the peaked tops. So I've kind of just been mixing them. If the color matches, I don't so much care. But yeah, so I have them all separated by cards and then I put them into Ziplocs. Now, I would say if you're going to use this method, I highly recommend using a bag that is like 4 mil thickness. These are 2 mil thickness or millimeters, millimeters thick. And as you can see, the bags flop over. They don't stay upright. The cards help, but they don't fix the problem. So I have issues with like they're falling over or whatever. I would get 4 mil thickness for baggies if you're going to do this. So this is my Diamond Art Club. I have my non-Diamond Art Club squares in another box. I have round Diamond Art Club in a box and non-Diamond Art Club round in another box. Like I keep them separated because I have so freaking many. I mean, this is about, I would say, near to probably 60 kits worth of square diamond paintings. That's just my squares. You know what I mean? So I would say good bags, having the cards in between is like necessary, highly necessary. So I use round containers in a molded holder for diamond painting, and then I store them in baggies. Yeah. You could see, and I thought about that too, putting the card stock in the bags. And I think they would fit. Let's find out. Maybe I'll have to do that because the only thing I'm worried about, I can't zip it. I could zip half of it closed, but then it would be open at the top here. Not that I like swing this box around or anything, but it would work better than nothing. I don't want to have to go through and cut the bottoms of like 500 of these cardstock. So it's a thought. It's a thought. I'll think about it. But if I bought better baggies to begin with, I wouldn't even have that problem. Oops, sorry, bumped you real hard. Yeah, if I had thought about that and got better baggies to start with, I wouldn't even have that problem. So I have no one to blame but myself. No one to blame but myself. All right, gotta put this back. Hold on 1 second. Here we go. Back to the closet. Okay. And then similarly for special drills, I have the same sort of situation for special drills. This one's obviously a little bit smaller, and I have rounds and squares together in one box. But like, do you see what I mean? See how these are all flopped over? because I don't have cards in between them. Like they're all ABs, but they're all flopped over. So I have to make sure I pick them up when I move them and all that. So yeah, get thicker bags. These are 3x4s. Yes, Mary. And I would need to get like a solid 3,000 bags. They're just so freaking expensive. That's my biggest issue. But yeah, so I have all of my specials. I do have these ones in bottles back here that, you know, like various things that I didn't feel like taking out of the bottles. But otherwise, these are my special drills. And I've got them. These are just separated first by like type, like metallics and then crystal. I don't have them in like specific DMC order necessarily because it's just easier for me to thumb through and figure it out. But yeah, so this is how I have my special drills stored, sort of same situation. Nobody wants floppy ABs. That's right. You're exactly right, Josh. No one wants a floppy AB. All right. Get her back up here. Whoop. Get my baby back up. Oh, there we go. Squished her. All right, there we go. There we go. But yeah, so that's how I do that. And then like for this particular kit, I am using the Art Dot 4-drawer storage for this particular kit. But other kits, I've used Elizabeth Ward's. I've used the Tic Tac containers. Sometimes I just use like these bins that I got at the dollar store for baggy ones. I mean, just kind of depends on what I'm feeling like using and how many, you know, drills are in there or whatever. You know, nothing super special, but give me 1 second. I'm going to go grab something. I will be right back. Okay, sorry. I want to go get a fresh soda. All right. Yeah, hit that like button, all. Don't forget to hit that like button. So, anyways, next question. How to fix bubbles in a canvas. Here's the thing. If you have bubbles in the glue, because that's what they're asking, how to fix bubbles. If you have bubbles in the glue of your canvas, that means that you are working on a double-sided adhesive or DSA canvas. I do not work on double-sided adhesive, period. End of. I won't. I find it way too annoying. I find that it takes way too much work to try and get it straightened and fixed, and all of they're called rivers and bubbles in those kits. I'm not dealing with all of that. Plus, when you lay down a diamond on double-sided adhesive, you are not sliding that drill anywhere. You are not, you're not moving it. Like you could tweezer it and pick it off, but you are certainly not going to, you're certainly not just gonna take it like on a poured glue, take it and move it from there to there. You know what I mean? Like you are not going to be able to do that on double-sided adhesive, where you absolutely can do that with poured glue. So as far as dealing with rivers and bubbles and things like that, unfortunately, I can't help in that area because I won't work on those canvases. I can, however, point you in the direction of, let's say, Lisette Crafts and Tells. I know that she works on Double-sided adhesive canvases, she would probably be a better help for you if you are also working with DSA, because I do not. I don't, and I can't help you. They are pretty rare. There's one place that I can think of that does them still reliably. Diamond Painting Deutschland, at least I think they still do for their Josephine walls. But for the most part, even HomFun, which was one that used to do DSA almost exclusively, even HomFun has switched over to poured glue canvases because so many people were requesting them that they were like, maybe we should just switch right over to poured glue. Since everybody's asking for them, let's just do that. So even HomFun switched over. I think though that, and I could be wrong, I don't buy from Diamond Painting Deutschland. For one, very expensive. Two, because it was double-sided adhesive. They used to do all of their Josephine walls with double-sided adhesive canvases. I don't know if they still do. Even the ones I've seen people get on Amazon or Temu or AliExpress have been poured glue. Yeah, for the most part. Hi, Liana. Wasn't too bad, but would definitely prefer poured glue. Yeah. Yikes. Yikey, yikes, yikes. How to store unfinished diamond paintings. How to store unfinished diamond paintings, like meaning your whips or just ones you haven't even started. Let me go first with how to store like ones you have not even begun to work on. A lot of it is about the space that you have to store diamond paintings, either that you are working on or that you haven't yet started. Not everybody is lucky enough to have a craft room where they have a full closet at their disposal to put diamond paintings into. I understand that I am singularly lucky in that I do have a space, one, that is dedicated to the craft of diamond painting, and then two, the space to put just diamond painting things into a closet. So with regard to ones that arrive in boxes, I tend to keep those in their boxes. That's my preference. I think that they're safest that way, and I leave them that way. If they don't have a box, I have them like in their protective baggie that they came in. And then I have a shelf in my closet where that shelf in particular only has my canvases that don't have boxes, like my unboxed canvases. And they're sort of stacked about 3 diamond paintings high in rolls, like in their rolls. And then for those who are really kind of limited on space, what I was going to do initially before I had the craft room was to unbox everything, store the empty canvases with no diamonds on them flat in a Nick Pro bag, which is like a canvas portfolio bag. And then I would keep the drills stored separately in like a drawer system bin so that I could rid myself of all of the boxes, rid myself of all of that excess room being taken up. But now that I have a space dedicated to being able to store those, I don't do that anymore. So just really kind of depends on what you have for space to work with. So, now when it comes to works in progress, what I do is I have one of those. Well, actually, I can probably show you, but I'm going to have to take you off of the tripod for a second. And I'll kind of show you what I have going on. Hold on. I'm trying to hide. Well, no, I don't have to hide it. It's fine. I'm going to show you, but I got to take you off of here. Now, I've shown people around my craft room before, so you kind of, some of you have already seen this, but some of you are new and have no freaking idea. So let me do this slowly so I don't give anybody like a headache or anything. Okay, so over here, pardon my floor that needs vacuumed. The way that I work with my works in progress is I have a hanger over my door. I've actually got two of them, as you can see. This is a closet, and then this is the door that gets me in my room. Now, behind this painting, let me move this out of the way. I have a hanger. It's actually from Walmart. Let me flip it around. I'll flip it so you can see what it looks like. It is a pants hanger that you can get from like Walmart. I think it was like $5. It has rubberized clips on the backs so that it holds the diamond paintings really securely. Like I can't just pull this out of there. I have to like unclip it because it's very tight and it's rubber. But I can hang 6 works in progress. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I think there's a 6. Yeah, 6 off of this one. Now, keep in mind, these are very flimsy. This one, if I hang too many things or if I pull down on it too hard, that will bend and snap. So I don't try to pull hard on these or load too much weight on it. And so what I do is after I have, hold on, I'm gonna flip this back around. Ooh. All right, there we go. When I don't want to hang everything on it, I get myself some pants hangers from like, I don't know, wherever, and then I hang it on there. I have these pink clips for additional like hold because they're also rubberized. I got these at the Dollar Tree. And then I can put it on there for extra hold if it's like the weight is starting to get too heavy. And then I have that also hanging on this hook on the back of the door. I have this additional one in case I want to put something up here. I've got additional hangers, but that is how I hang my whips when I am working on something and I need to put it somewhere where it's not rolled up or stuffed in a corner somewhere, but that's how I do that. So there you go. That's how that worked. Bam. Okay. I don't want to drop you. There we go. There we go. Okay. That was how to store unfinished diamond paintings. So that includes whips and that includes your like unstarted ones. Now, next question, heavily searched question, is how to frame a diamond painting. Now, I'm not going to get too heavy into how to frame because there are lots of YouTube videos if you're out and about in the world that you can go find that, you know, people recommend framing options. Once I have gotten my whole like situation figured out, I will definitely probably do a video on how to frame a diamond painting. You can use old frames from, let's say, you know, old pieces of artwork that you have. You can use cheap ones that you buy at Walmart. You can go get them dry mounted as long as they are resin and not acrylic. You can get them dry mounted out at like a Hobby Lobby store, framed at a Michael's, that sort of situation. But my plan is actually to install a curtain rod. And then once I have the curtain rod installed on the wall, I'm going to use the curtain rod holders that have clips on them. And then I'm going to be able to change out what diamond paintings I hang up based on just what I feel like hanging. So once I get to that point, I will definitely show people what I did, how I did it, all that fun stuff. But if you want to check out how to frame a diamond painting, unfortunately, I'm probably not the best place for that. So I say go check out some YouTube videos. I believe Rachel Ray Crafts She has a video on that. They're all over. They're all over. I recently stapled one to a regular blank painting canvas for Christmas gift. That too, yeah. If you build frames, you could literally staple it onto a frame for a painting. As long as you, oh wait, I got that whole area to do. As long as you stretch them tight enough, like, yeah. Okay, this next technique question, a way to switch the canvases out like that seems time and cost efficient. That's what I'm thinking, Calf. That's my idea. Yeah. Okay. Can you iron a diamond painting? Can I tell you that one of my first experiences, like before I started really getting into making tutorial videos and things like that on my YouTube, there was a person who was brand new to diamond painting, but decided to start a YouTube channel to be a diamond painter for some weird ass reason, was giving people instructions on how to do things, but didn't even really know how to do them. Okay, like, fine, you're a beginner, you want to start a channel, no big deal, whatever. But she was showing people how to iron a diamond painting, and she burnt the diamond painting. Okay. It didn't even have drills on it. It was just the canvas at the time. She burnt the canvas. Okay. And for some weird ass reason, a company that shall remain nameless decided to give her a refund for like the warranty when she's the one who burnt the canvas because she ironed it with no towel. She had it on not low. She had nothing down to like protect the canvas at all and managed to get a refund from the company for her dumb mistake ironing the diamond because it had ripples in the canvas. Please do not iron a diamond painting if you don't know how to iron your clothing. If you don't understand how to iron, let's say, a silk shirt, do not iron a diamond painting. Period. End of. Like, that just seems stupid to me. Like, if you're just for the very first time in your life going to try and iron something, don't make it a diamond painting. Make it a shirt. And then if you ruin the shirt, well, I guess you shouldn't be ironing anything, much less a diamond painting. Good Lord. I was like, you probably have never ironed a piece of clothing. So why are you trying to iron a diamond painting? Well, because it was recommended to her that maybe she should try it. Don't try it. Don't do it. Just don't do it. Oh my Lord. Um, ooh, tools and supplies. These are very popular questions on the Google machine. This person asks, best diamond painting pen. Now, I would like it if you guys would speak up in the chat because everybody kind of has their own favorite diamond painting pen company, pen turners. Like, some people, they don't really care about brand or whatnot. They just use like a specific pen from the like Amazon stores. Some people swear by the pens from like the e-painter pens, the vacuum pens. Some people, they swear by like just whatever. So everybody has their own preferences on diamond painting pens, diamond painting companies, pen companies. Like, it's a very kind of singular experience when it comes to diamond painting pens. I do have a video on selecting the best pen for you, like that particular tool, where to find them, how to select and I'm not necessarily talking, I do share a couple of companies, but it's all about what meets your needs for size, what meets your needs for length, size being like size around. I have carpal tunnel. I like a big, thick pen. For some people, these big, thick pens are way too heavy. So finding out whether or not you want something that's this large, but 3D printed or whatever. A pen is a singular thing. So if you want to shout out your favorite turner or your favorite type of pen in the chat, please do. Ooh, yeah, we got a whole groupie here. Let's see. Oh, welcome, Noel. Welcome, Tigger. So we've got Creations Moran is one turner, turns by Kevin's DP Pens, Butterfly Effect Wear Pens, and C Mystical Diamond Painter. I love their putty. Like their putty is top 3 in my book, but I can't do their pens. They're too skinny. Butterfly Effect Wears. Thank you, Noel. Noel says House of Miscellanea diamond painting pens. I do turn pens. My pens are very different and very special. Here's a couple of examples of House of Miscellanea diamond painting pens. They have herbs and stones in them. These are zodiac pens. This is a Leo and this is a Sagittarius. I do make custom pens. Thank you, Noel. She's got a few of my pens. 5 and pink, blue, purple, and fluorescent, like Hourglass, but not expensive. And they're purple tips. They're thick pens. Oh, okay. But yeah, I collect fountain pens, so DP pens will not be any different. Butterfly Effectors pens, Kevin's Bistro exclusives. Yes. I have tiny hands, literally can wear child gloves. Oh, yep. Makes sense as to why you like Butterfly Effect Wears. They're definitely a good size. Tigger, you don't have yours yet, but you just never know. You probably will. Yes, this one has a home already. This one belongs to Liana. It just has to get mailed to her. It's got moonstone and labradorite in there. It glows in the dark, I'm pretty sure. Wait, this one glow in the dark? I can't remember if this glows in the dark or not. It has herbs, it has orchid and rose hip. It has all sorts of good stuff in there. And yeah, mahogany for the wood. O'Brien Custom Turnings, they also do a very nice thin light pen. They do a beautiful job, but too small for me. So yeah, there's a lot of different pen turners, pen like blank makers, and I mean, it really ultimately is just what works the best for you is the pen you should get. But if you want a good kind of idea about how to pick one or whatever, I do have a video you can go check out. That link I think is also in the description. But if you go check my tutorials playlists, you'll find them. You will find them. Oh, come on. Get out of there. So pretty. Yeah. Next one, single placer versus multi-placer. It's not a question, but we'll address it anyways. Single placer versus multi-placer. I was a single placer for years. I was a single placer down. No multi-placing for me. I didn't even know what a multi-placer was. And eventually I learned about multi-placing. My daughter, actually, who barely ever diamond paints, she's like, Mom, have you seen this tool? And I'm like, what's that? It was a multi-placer. It was the plastic 4-placer. He's like, it's so you can lay more than one diamond. Now, I rarely ever use my single placer. More often than not, even if I'm like single placing, I'm using a multi-placer to single place. Because I'll do like 1 diamond on one side and 2 diamonds on the other or whatever when I place them down. So I am team multi-placer all the way. If you don't know whether you're team multi-placer or single placer yet, play around with both. Find out what you like because it's different for everybody. It's very different for everybody. Best wax or alternative to wax. There are a lot of alternatives to wax out there. I feel like if you are a wax user, that universally, I think most people agree that if you are going to be using wax, the darker the wax, the better the like quality of that wax and how long it lasts. Like the better way to describe that would be opacity. So if the wax is super like see-through, you can get it in pink or blue or purple or green or whatever. It doesn't really so much matter the color, but like the opacity of the wax. Like if the wax is not see-through, it tends to be a better quality wax. At least from people who are wax users that I know. I can't use wax because I was replacing the wax literally after every third time that I would lay down diamonds. I would have to put more wax into my pen. So I am a putty user. Putty is also very, very widely popular, but there are so many brands that it's kind of like kissing a bunch of frogs until you figure out what brand of putty works the best for you. Some people like the fancy waxes that are scented from different companies. Some people really are cool with the Art Dot brand. This one, the Keep Calm and Diamond Paint, and it's just a blue wax. And it works beautifully. I've used it before. I enjoy it quite a bit. I've used a lot of, I know it doesn't look like it, but I've used a lot of this wax myself. There's the old Diamond Art Club white wax that people liked a lot, or their pink wax. I've got some of that too in their sparkle sticky that they no longer sell. I keep this stuff because it's hard and I like it. Putty is a singular experience too. You got to figure out what you like and kind of go with it. Ooh, a baby restock on DAC. Let's see. All I can say is there's definitely prefer handmade wax over the wax that comes with kits. Oh, you're talking like this sort of situation for the wax? Like this one in particular is not this. What am I? Not that. This one. What? This one. You talking about this kind of wax? This is from Patty Wax, and it is, I think this is like pumpkin pie or something. I can't remember the scent on this one, but I've got this and I have their super sticky. Like they're super, super sticky. I've used a lot of that. I used to swear by the super sticky from Patty Wax, the unscented. And then I've got like black amber and lavender from Pure Bliss Wax that I used to use the crap out of. But then I realized that putty worked better for me, as well as Ghost in my single placer. Your own wax and Pure Bliss. Well, if you want this, Mystical, it's yours because I'm never going to use it. It's never been used. It's never been used. Shoot me a message or an email or something. You can have it. If you want to pay to ship it, you can have it. I tried an eyebrow wax pen and it works great on ABs. Oh, there you go. I like to squish the red wax. It reminds me of those baby cheeses. Oh, nice. Maker's Mark makes a wax that I don't love for normal drills, but it works perfectly for all sorts of specialty drills. Oh, okay. Definitely prefer Ghost. Yay, Peggy. Yes. Hi, Jen. How are you? A Babby restock. Ooh, I'll have to look and see what it is. But yeah, there's putty, there's wax, there's other types of wax, like I just showed you. There's glue dots, there's Ghost. I mean, on and on and on and on and on. And I probably should write down like putty, wax, glue dot, Ghost, and do a video about that. Right? Wax or wax alternatives. Yeah. All right. Next popularly asked question. Do you need a light pad for diamond painting? You want to try Ghost next week? Do it. Do it. Do you need a light pad? Need is relative, right? That is a very relative um, a relative thing. I don't personally need a light pad yet. I have a light pad. I've used a light pad. I don't find a light pad for me personally to be any more useful than like just using a strong overhead lamp. Okay, I use an overhead lamp and I'm good to go. Um, there are some people, however, who they absolutely need a light pad because they can't see, right? So I don't fault those people for not being able to see what they're doing and for using a light pad. Like nothing wrong with that at all. Um, I say use what you need to use so you can get the job done. But do you need a light pad? I mean, do you need a light pad? I guess that's the question for the person in particular, because I don't personally need a light pad. They're handy to have. I've used one before, but it's not a need for me right now. It might be a need for me down the road when my vision is not as good, or when, depending on how much lighting you have, like need is relative. But light pads are incredibly useful tools, and I don't fault anyone for having or using one because they're very, very handy. There's some people who wear magnifier thingies on their heads. You sadly need the light pad, Peggy. It is what it is, man. If you need it, you need it. I do a lot of DP in the dark. Yes, yeah. But, they can definitely be helpful. Some people have to have them, some people do not. It just really depends. Really, really, really depends. But next one, best storage containers for diamond painting. Now, we're going to assume that this question is asking the best storage for completed paintings, okay? Because we've talked about storage for drills, we talked about storage for unfinished paintings or unstarted paintings. Let's talk about finished paintings. Now, if you're not going to hang it up, obviously, immediately, then that. For me personally, I was for a long time rolling them up, diamonds out. If you are rolling your canvases, you should be rolling them diamonds out. Though with round drill canvases, you can roll rounds diamonds in, but squares need to be rolled diamonds out. I roll both diamonds out when I am going to roll a canvas, just because that's how I do it. I find that you don't have any popped drills. It doesn't pinch anything together so that a drill doesn't pop off, etc. So if I'm going to roll my diamond paintings, I roll them diamonds out. Now, when it comes to storage, when you've got a couple, 5, 6 finishes, and you're able to line them up next to each other, rolled up and inside of their dust bag that they came in, yeah, go for it. You can roll those up and lay them next to each other. But when you start talking like 50, 60, 100 finishes, you do not want to start stacking rolled up canvases on top of each other because they're going to flatten. That's too much weight. So what I do is I have what is called a Nic Pro bag, NICPRO bag that I got on Amazon. It's a canvas portfolio bag. It has a zipper. It's wonderful. The largest diamond painting that I have inside of my Nic Pro bag is 80 by 105, no, 70 by 105 in centimeters. It fits a stack right now of 100 diamond paintings, which I think is like this tall so far, like damn near 6 inches tall. And it works beautifully for all like 100 basically diamond paintings that I have stacked, laying flat and open on top of one another, like you would do with this stack, stack, stack. You know what I mean? Like I flat stack them. And the largest diamond painting that I have in there right now is 70 centimeters by 105 centimeters. I roll my diamonds out and put them in a long, hefty storage bin. That's if I'm not going to hang it up anyways. Yeah, I hesitate to stack them rolled up unless it's less than, a couple of rows on top of each other, because eventually the weight is going to crush the bottom one and drills might pop off. Or when you unroll it, it's going to be like unrolling a folded piece of rolled up paper. You know what I mean? Like if you take a piece of paper and let's say you roll up a piece of paper and it's all nice and, circular when you roll it up. And then eventually the weight is just going to crush it down. And then when you try to unroll that diamond painting, you're going to have fold lines in your diamond painting. And those are hard to get out once they've been in there for a really long time. Does that have separate sleeves? No, it's not I don't use those. I'm going to tell you right now, the Art Dot A1 binder that they have, the plastic binder that you can put it in. Don't buy those for large diamond paintings. It can't hold the weight. If you want to use that for like the A3 or the A2 sized diamond paintings, fine. The smaller ones, I would not use that for large diamond painting. All right, I'm going to take you off of the tripod again. Hold on a moment. We're going on a little bit of we're going on a, okay. So under my bed, this is the Nick Pro bag right here. Okay. It is covered in hair right now. Right now, there are 100 diamond paintings in this thing. Okay. And it weighs about 400 pounds. It has a zipper. It stays, it stays dust free in here. But I have all of my diamond paintings like stacked on top of each other in here. Flat. You see what I'm saying? And this is right now one of the largest. That's sometimes by color out of place, but it's in there. And I have them stacked, one on top of the other. Like there's a whole bunch in there too that you're not seeing because they're smaller. But yeah, my finished ones I stack in here. It is a Nick Pro bag. Sorry, it's covered in dust and dog hair. And it weighs about 4,000 pounds. But it has a zipper and that stays underneath my bed. But you can see that this sucker is huge. Okay, it's the largest size. I don't remember what that is in measurement, but it's the largest that they have on Amazon. And right now, like, as you can see, it is as like close as I can get it. I won't be able to put any more diamond paintings in here. I need to get a second one. But it fits them. There's like 100 in here, so it's got a lot. Okay. Okay. I hope that helped. All right, put you back up here. There we go. But yeah, don't buy those binders from Art Dot. They're not worth it. Your Animal Crossing blanket makes me smile. Listen, I love Tom Nook. All right. Do you recommend putting parchment paper in between? I haven't had any issues with that. The only thing I would say is the backs of the diamond paintings, they do tend to pick up hair. So you could use parchment paper or something like that in between them, and it should be fine. But I don't. I mean, if I'm really pressed about it, I'll just go through and use a lint roller and get the hair off. You know what I mean? I do tend to lint roller the backs of my canvases before they go in the bag, because then I know that they don't have hair on them. I just use like a plain ass tape roller, like lint roller, and then I lint roll them before they go in the bag. So I don't need to use parchment paper, but you could if you really wanted to. What's up, Wendy? Hello. You get the whole tour tonight. Yeah. Absolutely. Probably switch to something like that after we buy our house. The only reason I don't get is because it would be difficult to move. Yeah. And honestly, that sucker with 100 diamond paintings in it, that probably weighs close to 70 or 80 pounds. Like, no bullshit. It is heavy. It's very heavy. So I wouldn't, because you can't stand it up once you have the diamond paintings in there, you wouldn't be able to stand it up. It would have to stay flat. And that would be a huge pain in the ass to try and move because you're not going to be able to pick it up and carry it like a suitcase. You know what I mean? I tried that for a long time. Like I tried to put cardboard separators in there, and I wasn't able to put the cardboard separators in there because like it was just everything was just sliding down to the bottom anyways. So I was like, well, there's no point in this. Like, forget about it. So I just store it flat under the bed. But they have them on Amazon. I feel like I paid like 40 bucks or 45 bucks for that in the largest size. And I love it and I need to get another one, honestly. But I store it flat underneath the bed and it works out great. And it's out of the way. I don't even have to worry about it. Okay, next question. Popular question. Tweezers versus pen. Okay, can I be honest with you? I think y'all tweezer users, the people who single place or quadruple place or whatever the hell you're doing with tweezers, y'all are certifiable nuts, okay? I just think you're crazy. I love you, but I think you're nuts. Hi, Abby. Thank you for the link. I appreciate it. But yeah, I think that people who tweezer place are certifiably insane. I don't trust you weirdos because you're weirdos. Honestly, though, place however it is easiest for you to place. I personally can't with tweezers because, again, I have carpal tunnel. I struggle with using something that small without my hands cramping up or going numb. And so I know I would never be able to use tweezers to place diamonds. So I just don't. But I give props to those of you who can. I am not one of them. I am definitely not a person who can use tweezers to place anything on the canvas. I'm not. Tweezers place, they fly. Right. They fly all over. I only use tweezers to pick trash drills out of the tray. Yep, same. Or off of the canvas. That's it. And even then, I find it really fun to like if I screw up a color or something and it's only like 5 or 6 drills, I'll go in there and I angle the tweezers just right so that when I like pinch it like literally sends the drill flying like boing. It'll send it off. Like here we go, watch. You're like boop, there it goes. I just pinch them and then they go flying and I hit my ceiling sometimes. Good time. Why I have drills all over the freaking floor in my bedroom, on my bed, probably just everywhere, all at one time. But no, I can't tweezers. More power to those who can. I am not one of them. I can place 3 at a time. Oh, with the tweezers, the reverse tweezers are easier for me. Are you talking about the ones that are curved at the base, like this sort of situation? Is that what you mean? Because, like, I mean, I suppose, but how do you do it with rounds? Like, I can't imagine, I can't even barely pick up a single one with rounds. So, like, how would you wouldn't be able to multi-place rounds with tweezers, can you? I'm struggling with one. You know what I mean? Like, I am struggling to pick up one diamond at a time with, and already my hand has gone numb. Seriously, that's all the longer it took my fingers started to tingle. That was it. Like literally now my fingertips are numb. Nick Pro Bag is now on the way. Yay! Yeah, Josh, you're going to love it. You store it under your bed, you'll never see it again. If you have hardwood floors, a forewarning, there are zippers on both sides of the Nick Pro Bag. One side has a zipper pocket and the other side has a zipper pocket. If you have hardwood floors, I recommend putting something so that it slides easier in and out. Like I have a piece of cardboard underneath it where the zipper is specifically, but actually it's under the whole bag. It's a big like board, piece of cardboard board for sliding in and out, or you're going to scratch the shit out of your floor. Learn that the hard way. Can't multi-place rounds. Right. Yeah. I wouldn't even imagine how somebody could, honestly. Oh, you squeezed it open. Oh, didn't know that was a thing. Interesting. Okay. Another very popular question, resin drills versus acrylic drills. Now, don't scratch floor. Right. There you go. Resin versus acrylic. So honestly, like, here's the thing. I prefer resin drills. I think most people do because resin drills are more faceted. They offer more sparkle and shine. The dye lots in resin are far more stable than they are in acrylic drills. Resin sticks into glue better than acrylic drills do. And the acrylic drills, when you're finished, it's not going to look, it's dull. It's not as sparkly. Okay. Now that is not to say that there are not lovely diamond paintings out there that have acrylic drills instead of resin drills. I'm not saying that you can't get a beautiful finish out of an acrylic drill kit. I have several that are very lovely. I wish they would have been resin for a lot of reasons. They would have been more sparkly. Like there's more sparkle in a resin kit. I feel like they stick better into the glue. But that said, ultimately, whatever you like at the end of what you're doing is what matters most. So if you like acrylic drills and you like the fact that, you know, there's less trash in acrylic drills, or you like the fact that there's, you know, like whatever about acrylic, then that's fine. Then keep buying your acrylic drill sets. I have plenty of them myself. Acrylic drill canvases from licensed and unlicensed companies. I just prefer resin and will buy resin when it is an option. But keep doing what you're doing and what makes you happy. The same with the next question, which is round drills versus square drills. Honestly, work on what makes you happy. Some people hate squares and love rounds. Some people love squares and hate rounds. Some people, did I just say the same thing twice? You know what I mean, if I did. But that being said, you work on what you work on that makes you happy. It's a hobby. It's not like, you know, we're not out here winning Nobel Peace Prizes for doing diamond paintings. You know what I mean? So do what makes you happy, ultimately. Resin is light, fast. Acrylic is not light, fast, and can fade. Yeah, that too. The UV can damage an acrylic painting too. Acrylic rounds rather than squares. Yes. Resin are prettier, but they have more static. That is also true. Yes. As long as I don't pay resin prices for acrylic. That too. That as well. To be honest, I'll probably be extra when I get my bag and have my husband attack wheels. Ooh, not a bad idea though. Not a bad idea. You know, like that whole hindsight is 2020. Honestly, would probably have my father-in-law do the same. Have some sort of a system for it so it's easy to get out and put back in. Yep. All right. Well, damn. That was like through the whole live. That worked out well. I'll save, I have a whole bunch of other highly searched terms or questions for diamond painting that I will save for next Tuesday. Since, you know, we typically do our tutorial Tuesday. I am going to be heading over to the Discord. If you are not yet a member of Discord, you can feel free to join us. We go over there, we share things, we hang out. We just, yeah, we're always chilling. So if you want to come and join us over on Discord, you are more than welcome to do so. If you don't know how to use it, then come on over and we'll teach you. It's not a big deal. Not a big deal. But that all said, what beautiful, oh my gosh, how beautiful. What kit is that? Oh, this one, Samantha? This one is called Beautifully Broken. It's actually archived, but it is by Arista Katie from Diamond Art Club. So if you find it, it's going to have to be in a D-Stash group, but they exist. They're out there. They might just be a little spency. But yeah, so we're going to be heading on over to Discord. You are more than welcome to come and join us since it is now 9:30. We will be there. You can be there too. If you don't know what you're doing, we are more than happy to come and rescue you wherever you end up posting something like, I don't know what I'm doing. We'll tell you where to go and what to do. But more or less, if you play around with Discord, you'll figure it out pretty quickly. It's like the old forums back in the day. So yeah, join us on Discord if you like. Otherwise, y'all, I will be back on Saturday night for a Saturday night live stream back to normal. I don't even know what I'm going to do with myself on Saturday nights. I'm going to figure out something to do. What to turn it into something. But anyways, that's all I have for you. Yeah, I hope that you enjoyed learning something, or if you didn't learn something, maybe you can teach me something. Sounds pretty good to me. But yeah, that's all I have for you. As ever, you guys, I hope that wherever you are in this great, big, wide, wonderful world of ours, that you are having a beautiful morning, evening, or afternoon, whatever time it is, wherever you are. All right, guys, I'll see you next time. Bye.